Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I wanted to grab my Kuretake palette again, the Art Nouveau that I've been really enjoying playing with, and I found a photo reference on Unsplash that I wanted to use for a painting today. So I saw this window flower box that looked really cute, so I'm just kind of sketching that out here lightly with pencil. So I'm going around and just sketching in the window itself, and then also a few circles at the bottom of the box for where I want to place some of my larger flowers, because I'm going to try to paint around that area later so that I can get the good color. So I'm starting with the background, and I'm just mixing a couple of those tan colors from the palette in my little mixing sauce cup that I'm using for this painting today. And I'm going in with my larger quill brush to fill in the background there. And I'm going to be going sort of back and forth in between different sections of the painting as each part kind of dries. So right now I'm mixing in a few colors to make a bit of a darker tan, and I'm going to be really kind of exploring putting in the shadows in various areas. So one of the things that I really liked about this photo is how shadowy it is. And so I'm going to be dipping into the palette and working on those different tones and putting in the window shadow, and then also the shadow for the plants and things that you see kind of underneath the window. So that is what I am working on here now, and I'm trying to kind of mix up these neutral colors by using some of those the blues and the orange in the palette and playing around there to see what kind of sort of grays that I can get. I've really been enjoying playing with the colors and seeing how they mix together, and this experiment is a pretty good one for that. So I'm doing this painting very loosely and just sort of going quickly with my brush, and I've got it sped up a little bit so you can see the process pretty quickly, but I'm just going really with the feel of the painting and just throwing that color on there and just seeing how it turns out. So I'm looking at it, and now I'm starting to mix up my turquoise color for those shutters, and that was another thing that I really liked about this picture was those shutters and the weathering and aging on them. And I love the color turquoise, and I think they just popped out so nicely from that sort of wall in the background. And so I'm putting on kind of a base coat for that, and I'm going to add some more texture and things like that and more passes. But for right now, that's going to be kind of the base color. And here I've kind of let some things dry, so I'm going back in and adding some of those wood marks with a darker layer. And I'm just sort of loosely going in with my brush, making some finer lines and making them nice and messy to show some of that weathering of the boards. And I'm even deciding to put in some other sort of marks there to just give it kind of a rougher look. And as you can probably tell, I'm just going back into the same sauce cup. So I'm not cleaning it or anything. I'm just adding colors as I go to make the blends that I want. And so a little bit of all the colors end up in pretty much every part of the painting, which I think helps with the cohesiveness of the colors. I kind of have been cleaning out, with my brush and using up all the paint, except for a little bit, and then I just add more colors to it. So now I'm just adding more of the blues and browns and a little bit more of that orange and getting in a nice deeper color for some of those darkest shadows where the sun's not reaching. And I'm just sort of pausing every now and then to look back at the picture to make sure that I'm getting the right spots. And I'm just darkening that upper left corner of the window again. And I kind of like the sort of uneven, washy look of the window. It kind of, I don't know. Sometimes you can really embrace the little watermarks and stuff and like the roughness of it. So now I'm going in with my first layer of that flower box. And so you can see me kind of avoiding some of those areas there around where I had sketched a few little circles where I'll be putting some flowers. And then the window area is also still damp, so you can see that color kind of spreading up into the window a little bit, which I really like the looseness of that. And the window is more dry toward the right side, so it's not going to spread at all. It's going to be more of a harder edge. I'm just finishing up with that color, and then I'm going to add some other values. And making sure that I get those shadows. And so now I'm going in with an even darker green and just spreading that over the layer that I had already put down. And then I'm finding my other green. I think I went for the pea green maybe for a lighter color to add. And I think I also add a little bit of yellow later on. Now I'm going back into that turquoise for another layer to deepen up that color there and give it some more texture. So I just kind of loosely brushed it in for just another layer of different colors. And then I'm going around the outside of the window and the shadows with that same darker color to just add some more to the shadow areas. And I liked adding that little pop of turquoise everywhere. That was kind of nice. I enjoyed doing that. So now I'm just adding a little bit of warmth to the windows where the sun might be hitting them a little bit, and the painting is kind of cool, so I'm just adding a little bit of sunniness to it. So now I'm just darkening in some of those lines that I had drawn outside against the wall, and this is where I put in a little bit extra, more than I needed for the wall. So, but I thought that it just kind of added something, and then I'm adding in a few finer lines back into the shutters. And I'm starting to finish up. I'm kind of working around the greenery now, just sort of waiting for it to dry so I can add my flowers. And I think when I did add the flowers, they weren't even completely dry yet, but they were pretty close. So I kind of like waiting until things are mostly dry, but maybe not quite there, so the color can spread out in a few spots but stay put in the others. And so I'm using that bright color to fill in where I had left those white areas unpainted, and then I'm going in with some more of that brighter yellow color so that I can bring some more warmth into it. And I think that just kind of changed a big piece of it, is that it just adds that warmth. And then I'm going back in with some darker color again, because as it dries it just tends to lighten up. So some of that will mix in with the flowers as well, but then I just have that interest going on with the different colors and textures. And then I'm taking my tape off because we're all done with this watercolor sketch. So I hope you enjoyed doing this with me today. Hopefully you did. But these little sketches have been really fun to do. It's great practice with your brushwork and sketching, and you can choose simpler drawings and simple shapes and just kind of fill in where the stuff is needed. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today, and thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep creating.